Hey beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you something exciting.
As much as men are always out here in the comment section of a pick-me women saying, protect her at all costs, that's a queen right there. See, a lot of y'all women need to think like her. Notice these women are typically single. For all the men who act like, this is the kind of woman I'm looking for, how come they never look her way? These women should have a line of men, a harem of men, if you will, begging, pleading, hoping to be with them, but that's never the case because they only use you as an example. They want to be able to show women, look, we're not crazy. Other women think like this. Look at this woman right here. That's all they use you for. When they're looking for a mate, they're looking for somebody that has some standards, that has some values, that has good self-esteem. They don't want those women. They step over those women. Excuse me, step over those women to get to the ones who are like, I don't really think so. I don't like that. I want a man to pay all the bills. I want a man to do these things. They want to make other women change their mind and be like, look, just be like her and I'll pick you. But we don't want to be picked. We're picking ourselves.
Listen, the reason a guy is going to pick to marry a girl like the bitch or the selfish girl as opposed to a pick-me is because the pick-me would have already given him everything that he will get in a marriage. What is the incentive? You would not sign a contract with a company that's already doing everything for you. Why sign the contract? So the pick-me girl has already done everything. She's doing the wife duties. She's doing everything for him. She's moving countries for him. She's already his wifey. And as much as he might like her, what is the incentive to marry her? Whilst a girl who knows her worth and does what she needs to do and wants to do isn't doing that for random guys. She's building her own life. That's why every guy would rather marry her than the pick-me girl.
Obviously, if you are a heterosexual woman, you are going to want the attention of the men that you want. There's a difference in wanting the attention from a man that you want to be in a relationship with. There's another in basically being willing to be harmful to a whole group of people for the sake of men, regardless of whether you want them or not. You literally just want them to say, oh, she's cool. Oh, she's so cool. She's so dope. Yeah. And if you ever notice, a lot of the men, especially if you go into lives where it's like these gender topics, which is always a gender topic, a lot of the men who talk to the pygmies, I often hear them say, man, I just know somebody don't play about you. And if the pygmy says, thanks, but I'm single, it never turns into a, oh, word? So what's up? Or it will be, oh, I know you gonna make a man happy one day. Why y'all not jumping in her DMs? Why y'all not rushing to say they will support, they will like, they will big her up? Oh yeah, one of y'all finally get it. Blah 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 blah. But they never run into wifer. I don't get it. She's on your team. She's playing for you. What's up? What's up, Bookie? What's up?
I know this woman who has basically isolated herself from women and just alienated herself from all of her female counterparts and has basically sourced all of her approval from men. She has identified herself as different from other women, smarter potentially than other women, and that women are just too dramatic for her. And it is now coming back to bite her. The men don't want her either. She's frankly not super attractive, and she isn't finding the allies in them she was hoping to. And she now, of course, wants to run back to women and repair her bonds with these women she has alienated over these years. And I feel for her, but Lord, like, girl, what a corner to paint yourself in. That's a nightmare. Ladies, be mindful, cherish your relationships, value them, because now the men don't want her and the women don't trust her. This woman is well and truly alone.
I saw a video of a girl on here where she was showing off her body and she was like, ladies, let's bring back having natural bodies. Men like that. And then a man comments and he says, why don't you show your natural hair? And I just can't imagine being a pick-me who tried so hard to get the approval of men to be like, oh, look, my body's natural. I'm different than the other girls. And then he's still criticizing you like it's still not enough. Like, he was really like, show your natural hair. This is like, I don't like your weave. And it's just like, I just felt so embarrassed for her.
The only family members that you get to pick in your life is literally your spouse, and you're picking a loser. You're picking someone that genuinely makes you unhappy on a daily basis. You're picking someone that disrespects you on the daily basis, that most likely when you guys have kids will disrespect you too. It's like saying, please disrespect me. I beg you. I beg you. To be honest, isn't your spouse or your soulmate actually gonna treat you good? But you know, I could be wrong.
I'm just here to remind you that you should not pursue anything in life under the guise of it making you more or less appealing to men. Male attention is no prize in this economy, okay? To get a male's attention, all you have to do is be easy to be around. And just because you're easy to be around for a man doesn't mean that you get anything out of that relationship just by default, okay? A lot of women that are high achieving or have achieved a high level of education or in their career are disillusioned with the fact that they don't get treated better by men because of the effort that they've put into their life or their appearance or their desirability. And it's because men don't really care, you know. They say they care. They like the idea of being associated with women that care, but it doesn't mean that in their actions they really care, okay? That's why you see a man fumble a baddie and then go for a girl who seems not as ambitious as the girl that's his type versus the girl that he ends up with. And I'm not saying that one is better or worse or has more or less value than the other. I'm just saying male standards are not that high. If you make yourself available to a man and you are easy to be around, he will keep you around. But the question that you need to ask is, what are my goals in life? Are there any goals that don't require me to be in a relationship with a man? Is that important to me? And if it is important to you, then when you are around men, you need to think, is this man helping me directly or indirectly move towards my goals? Or does he drain me of precious energy that I could be using to get ahead in my life and my dreams and my desires? Because it is naive of you to think or to demand that a man care more about your dreams and your goals than you do. They got their own problems. They got their own needs. They're looking for their own resources. They're looking for their own easy way out too. That's why a man is rarely an easy way out. He is the hard way through hell and back to square one, which is live your life the way that you want to live it. Be hot. Have fun, have goals, go through the fire towards them, because you will have full agency over your life when you live intentionally with men at the side, okay? Decentered. They can still be there, but their attention cannot be more important or be prioritized over what's important to you. And if men are important to you, go and pursue men, okay? I don't really care, but I know there's plenty of women who are at a crossroads where they think, I keep getting told that I should care about what men think, but I feel that the male input is not that valuable. So do I keep caring about what men think, or do I do the hard thing and kind of go against the grain and focus on what I care about? As someone who has done the latter, it's not easy, but it is definitely more rewarding. And you can actually have your cake and eat it too when you live that way, because you have your own life and then you get to choose which men get to be a part of it rather than feeling like you need to be chosen. Because men aren't picky anyway, so there is no benefit to being a pick-me.
Men don't like pick-mes. They hate them. Yes, it's your internet big sister here, and I'm going to give you the advice you never got. Men do not like pick-mes. Contrary to your belief, that's why a lot of them go through bullshit or are single. Men like to be men. Men like to be held accountable. And men like to work for things. Pick-me-sha does not allow a man to do any of that. But the way that she does it, she thinks that he's going to value her for these things, right? Women have to realize that men are so much more logical thinkers than we give them credit for. So when you're accepting bad treatment from a man over and over again, and you're thinking that, oh my God, he's looking at me like I'm loyal, that man is calling you more stupid bitches than we are. That man is looking at you like, oh, she's dumb. She'll accept anything. She has no standards. And men are so sinister, they start to think about, who else has she been this stupid for, and how easy it will be for you to be dumb for the next man. Men also like to work for things. So women that go out and buy men everything and give them everything, it makes the man resent you, because men like to work for shit I don't care who he is. And not saying that he's going to turn it down, because who would? I'm not turning down nothing either. The fuck? But as a man, he wants to feel like he was able to work for something and get it. He's not going to want to feel like it came from the help of a woman. Men also like to be held accountable. And this is something that women just cannot seem to understand. But where do you think the one that got away, that term came from? Men are always in love or thinking of the one that got away because that is the woman that walked and held his ass accountable. Men like to be held accountable. They're men. The first part of being an adult, man or woman, is accountability, right? So when you're making excuses for a grown ass person about why they did something or how they're unable to do this, you're now treating them like a child. And they hate that. And the funny thing is, men are so like literal and logical that they are so much harsher on pick-mes than women could ever be. That is the stupid bitch that they're always talking about to their niggas and how dumb she can be for them. So I don't even want to make this too long, but I had to reply to this comment because it is so true. Men hate pick-mes. They hate them. The majority of women are pick-mes. 98% of women that you'll meet in real life are fucking pick-me-sha senior. And the irony about it is, every pick-me I know is in some of the worst relationships or situationships than you will ever fucking hear in your life. Like, these bitches go through Tyler Perry shit with these men. And it don't matter what she do. Because you know Pygmisha, she gonna put the car in her name for the man. She gonna give the man unlimited amounts of money. He's staying with her rent free. She's accepting all of his infidelity. She's fighting other women over this nigga. Like, pick-me women do the most and get the least. I have a video on here right now that has like 500,000 views. And it's talking about how to get a good man, you have to hate men. And contrary to belief, y'all can argue with me. I'd love to see you do it. I've never, ever seen a pick-me in a fucking relationship that I would want. All the women that are actually in relationships worth having are the man-hating bitches. They are. But that's why it's so hard for me to feel bad when Pick-Misha is going through it, because it's like, no matter how bad these men treat her, Pick-Misha always has space, time, availability, and money for this man. Pick-Misha will always have judgment for you. She will always be able to show you how rude and nasty and mean she can get. She will never show that to that goddamn man who deserves it. Like, it's really, really ironic the ways that these pick-me women are treated and then the way that they turn around and treat other women. But yeah, anyway, like I said, 98% of women, majority of the women are fucking pick-mes. That's why majority of men ain't shit. It tracks.
Pick-mes are never going to get picked by men. Never. They're never going to get picked by men, and I'm going to break down why. Men live in a world where they have been conditioned to have cognitive dissonance. They are being told that because they exist as a man, they have power and they have value. But the reality that they're living, that is not true. They are going to work answering to another man. They are living a life where they are completely invisible. No one checks in on them. No one compliments them. No one ever gives them any validation. And typically, they aren't well respected by even the other men in their life or the men that they work with or know personally. Men are always chasing the thing that patriarchy has promised them. And that number one thing is power. Power and dominance. So two things. Men are always trying to look for a source, and they're always trying to look for an outlet where they can create a dynamic where they are receiving this power that the patriarchy has promised them. When you're a willing participant in something, no one can have power over you. If you have a job and you genuinely enjoy like going to work and you actually want to be there all the time, your boss using their power dynamic to force you to work more, it's not gonna bother you, and it damn for sure can't bother them because you want to be there. You aren't giving them a negative reaction or any resistance to wanting to go to work extra. So they cannot assert any power over you because you're not able to give them any ammunition to make them feel like, oh my goodness, like this is actually something that they would want to resist because they don't want to do it. No, it doesn't matter. You're going to be indifferent about the situation because you want to be there. You don't mind having to go to work more. Noah literally quoted his own mother pretty much explaining this dynamic, and she says the way, or he says that she says, the way my mother always explained it, the traditional man wants a woman to be subservient, but he never falls in love with the subservient woman. He's attracted to independent women. He's like an exotic bird collector, she said. He only wants a woman who is free because his dream is to put her in a cage. Pick-me women don't get picked because there is no dominance to assert over them. There is no pushback against them. A pick-me woman is not going to make a man feel like he's the dominant one, like he's powerful, as though he can control her and manipulate her and put her in a predicament that she wouldn't be comfortable in. Men are not free people. They're not. They're prisoners of the patriarchy. They're prisoners of their own fucked up mentality. They are prisoners of a society that has lied to them. So the only source of fulfillment that a man can then have is to find a woman who is like anti-men. She's very independent. She's minding her own business, and they want to be able to manipulate this woman and be able to have the satisfaction of telling them, I have so much power as a man that I was able to get this woman to stop working, to stop going after her passions, to stop pursuing her dreams. And they take great pride in that because that is going to be the only level of fulfillment that they have successfully acted out at the hands of patriarchy. Don't get me wrong. Men will still use the pick-me. Men will still find a way to benefit off of the pick-me needing male validation, off of her needing a man and having close proximity to a man. But a man much rather take a woman who is not male-centered and try to create her to be male-centered. So if you're a pick-me, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Have you ever talked to like a grandmother or the older generation of women and they explain to you, how they got into a marriage or a relationship with a man? A lot of the times they say, he wore me down. He broke me down. Men very rarely go after the woman that wants them because they rather break a woman down. They rather wear a woman down because that's more satisfying for them. Naturally, men are very sadistic individuals. Very sadistic individuals. Men get zero validation for going after the women or entertaining the women that want them because it doesn't prove anything to them. They have to take someone and wear them down and break them down because that's what actually gives them validation. They want the girl that they want to do what they are telling her to do because that is their way of having validation. That's their way of having power.